Hey everyone, it's VJo's2 back again, and we're going on a little trip. It's 366 days of cards, and before I get on with the review, I want to show you something that some people have been asking about, where I keep my cards. So let's go to where I keep my cards, down below my bed. Here on my bed, there's my floor, and here we are underneath the bed. I'll try to improve the lighting. And we got boxes and boxes of cards. For instance, this one has a bunch of decks from the Blue Crown and other stuff. And then there's this, which I can't even open. But you can see possibly there's more boxes in this storage unit. And I got a whole bunch of sitting right on top of the storage unit, which is why I can't get into it. So there you go, and then there's more on this side. This side is usually where I keep decks for prizes, and there's also my gimmick decks and gaff decks. And sorry if I'm making you seasick. This box right here is where I keep a lot of weird stuff. Oops. I know what it is. Jonas Brothers. It ain't mine. I just found it when I was on the job site, and I figured it's a nice box. I'm gonna keep it. And I keep all sorts of gimmick stuff in here, and add cards that I could use for something, and all sorts of boxes and stuff like that is what I keep in here. And if we go over here, my dresser, that's a big mess. This is where I used to keep cards until I had too many. I still keep some stuff in here like tape and my glass for that Thunder Aces trick, whatever it's called. Andy Field Magic had the performance of it. I might do one eventually. And just other gimmicks and stuff like that. I haven't even figured this out. Tornado coin merge. You merge two coins together. They're already merged. And there's just a whole bunch of stuff in here. My scissors. Stuff with packaging stuff. The information to different gimmick decks and stuff like that. Anyways, it's time for the deck review. I apologize for going on a little bit of a tour here. Today's deck review is going to be a vintage deck. It's going to be very quick, and I lost the deck again. It's pretty unique. It came inside this kind of an old school card case. I like it. And it is a vintage stud deck. I don't have one of the new ones out to compare it to, but it says finest quality linen finish on top. You got your horse logo here, stud playing cards with two jokers, not one but two, and poker size. On the one side it says distributed exclusively by Walgreen and Walgreen Agency drug stores. The other side, stud playing cards. Top says stud. The bottom says for particular players. I don't think I've seen that on the new ones. We also have the back, shows you the back design, which is just like regular studs. And it says Walgreens 50 cents, so it's old. And it's got one of the old tax stamp seals on there, which is still intact, although it's loose. And it's even stamped by US something. PC, oh, US PC company. Okay, cool. And the cards themselves, fairly standard. The box is a little bit yellow, as you can see, but the cards are still in good shape. They just got standard. I'll compare the box again. It's kind of yellow because it's old. They got standard faces, a standard stud ace of spades as far as I know. It says Walgreen on the bottom, stud, and it's got that spade put with a horse on it. Your standard Arco stud crown deck court cards. And your jokers are your standard stud ones as well. As you can see, it's a little bit yellow. It says stud on it. It's open in the 2 corners, and it's got that horse. And you do get 2 of them, like the box said. The back design is just like a regular stud. It is identical as far as I can tell. And they actually handle pretty good considering how old they are. You can see how good they handle still. Not too much clumping or anything like that. This is the kind of vintage deck I like to buy. One that actually handles good and looks good. It's complete and it's got a vintage stamp seal on it, which I like very much. Unfortunately, I was hoping, because I didn't see the back design, I was hoping it'd be a much rarer stud deck that has a different back design. You can see those on dealingdeuces.com. He's selling them for like a couple $100 because he likes to profit off people like me, and so I refuse to buy from him, basically, because he's getting these decks in trades for who knows what, and then he's slapping a price tag on there of whatever he feels like it, and all he cares about is making money off vintage decks, not helping out collectors, only helping out himself. So I recommend staying away from Dealing Deuces, but that's just my opinion. That is your vintage stud deck review. I'll see you next time.